It might sound obvious to say that computers are all around us, but chances are you might not even realize how many devices have computers embedded within them. When I ask you to picture a computer, you probably think of your desktop, something with a monitor, a keyboard, and a mouse that you come to when you need to do work. Well, what about as you move through the real world and you interact with appliances, cars, wearables? All of these sorts of devices probably have a computer contained within them that is doing a certain task that has been programmed into it. This course is all about those types of devices, the devices that live out in the real world that are helping change the world around them. Now, in order to program these devices, you're going to use the same sorts of tools that you have before. You're going to learn how to break down your instructions into a way that the computer can understand. But in this course, we're going to be very focused on the context in which that computer exists. You don't really think too much about the context of a desktop. It lives in your office or home, and you come to it when you need to do work. But these devices are always built and programmed for a specific purpose. That's because they have to integrate naturally with their surroundings. They are embedded in another situation. Throughout this course, you're going to learn about a lot of different devices, and specifically lots of different scenarios in which you might use these. Now, you probably can imagine a few different embedded scenarios where you, say, have a device in a programmable appliance or in, say, a wearable. But if we think about how we collect data about the world around us and make decisions, especially in this day and age when data is so important, these devices have become incredibly impactful, especially when we start talking about the Internet of Things, or IoT. The Internet of Things is the idea that we have lots of devices out in the field connected to the internet and sending us real-world data that we can then use to make decisions. Suddenly, we can monitor how things are going out in fields and warehouses in a way we never could before. But before we do all that, we have to understand more about these devices and how to ask them to do what we need them to do. So, throughout this course, you're going to learn how to program them. And I hope that as you start to pay more attention to the world around you, you'll see just how many of these devices you probably interact with on a day-to-day basis.